Gamers are about to face an annoying problem, and that's the addition of NFTs in your games. In this video, I will introduce you to why NFTs will ruin video games and a short history of why gamers don't want them. But first, for all of those clueless people out there, an NFT is basically data stored on the blockchain and prove you own something, like a picture of a monkey or a music album. In this case, objects within a video game, like a certain skin or an avatar or a weapon item. Basically a certificate of authenticity. But most people don't realize that NFTs that you have is just a link, a piece of code on the blockchain, not the items you purchased. Those are stored on an external server, meaning it's possible for the servers to go down and your NFTs to be completely worthless. Now, as a gamer myself, I can see why most of us don't want NFTs in our games. We basically are just sick and tired of game publishers adding more ways to profit and make the games more expensive. I remember asking my parents constantly for an N64 back then, but they kept saying no. And I don't really remember the reason, but I concluded it's because I had Asian parents or it was the price, or maybe it was a mix of both. Well, the cost back then in 1996 was $199 for the N64 plus $50 per game, which is around $440 now. Back then, people thought that buying the console and each game separately was expensive. Well, they would probably lose their heads with the way things are now. During the late 1990s, the gaming industry started to see a change with the popularity of the internet. People were flocking to PC games like Lineage and EverQuest. The gaming industry started to sell DLCs, downloadable content. DLCs are additional content created for an already existing game, distributed through the internet by the game's publisher. These can range from skins to larger expansions that feature new levels and characters. Video game executives saw this as an additional stream of income. Also in the early 2000s, the online video game industry started to see another revenue model gaining popularity. It was the microtransaction, or MTX. MTX is when users can purchase virtual goods with micropayments. They are usually provided in free-to-play games. Some notable games in the 2000s were MapleStory, Sims 2, and Second Life. Linden Labs' Second Life game is interesting because it was a virtual world game. It allowed users to customize the clothing and style of their characters, buy and collect buildings and land, and purchase flashy animations to show off to other users using subtype of virtual currency. The virtual currency was the Linden dollar and was used to power the game's internal economy. Linden dollars had to be bought with real money. Now that sounds like just what people today are calling the metaverse, and guess what? Second Life came out in 2003. So to the people thinking it's a newly adopted concept, it's not. It wasn't until late 2000s to early 2010s when microtransactions exploded. The release of the mobile app store created games like Farmville, Candy Crush, and my personal favorite, Clash of Clans. But these games started to use microtransaction not only for items, but also the ability to eliminate wait time. For example, Clash of Clans is a game where you would upgrade your village. Each building in your village has different levels. Leveling up a building requires time. A level 1 building can take 1 minute, while upgrading to a level 14 can take 20 days. But you can purchase gems that can reduce the time. Now, the time cost shown here suggests that it can take up to 4 years without spending any money to upgrade all buildings. And if you want to just pay your way through the max level as fast as possible, well, it's going to cost you about 1.5 million gems, which is about $11,000. But there's one type of microtransaction that got the whole world's attention. It was loot boxes. Loot boxes or crates was a way to receive randomized selection of virtual items or in-game currency. You could either earn a loot box in-game or purchase them from the store. From shooting games like CSGO, Overwatch, and Star Wars Battlefront 2 to card games like Hearthstone and to even sports games like NBA 2K and FIFA. These types of microtransactions were unbelievably profitable and for good reason. Opening loot boxes has been associated to have the same effects as to someone gambling. If you want a certain legendary skin in Overwatch, and since loot boxes are randomized, you are basically leaving it up to chance, and that chance can be as low as 0.01%. This has prompted many countries to regulate loot boxes. Belgium and the Netherlands now have considered them illegal. All these microtransactions have made game companies billions over the years. Activision made $5.1 billion from microtransactions alone in 2021. You would think that companies would be satisfied with this, but now they want to add another source of income, and that's through NFTs. Game publishers have spoken about ways NFTs will be implemented to current video games and future play-to-earn games. And I mean game publishers, not game developers, because while researching for this video, I've seen a lot of people confuse the two. For simplicity for this video, let's just say game publishers are the marketing side, concerned about the profitability, and the game developers are the creation side, making sure the game works. Why I say this is because game publishers want NFTs as an extra revenue stream, while game developers must put that into action. And according to the latest annual developer survey, they hate the idea of NFTs because of the potential of scams, overall monetization concerns, and environmental impact. As to one developer saying, "How this hasn't been identified as a pyramid scheme is beyond me." So what the company will first have to do is create their own virtual currency. For example, Nintendo might call theirs copyright dollars, Riot bias tokens, or Blizzard abuse coin. Then any future skin, weapon, map, or even an emote could be turned into an NFT. The possibility is really endless, and they're really trying to market it as a good thing for gamers, because with the marketplace, players can buy, sell, trade, and collect items amongst each other. For example, the recent Lunar New Year's Overwatch event, players could get event items such as this Mercy skin for a limited time. Let's say that you get this Mercy skin number 0001, because remember, NFTs are non-fungible tokens and they're not replicable to another skin, so they'll probably be numbered to how many that were given out during the event. Then let's say that there's a player that couldn't get the Mercy skin. Well, with the marketplace, they could go buy it from you. It sounds like free trade. Well, proponents of NFTs like this Ubisoft exec who thinks their own users are idiots for not understanding this. And then you have Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian who thinks that it will be a way for gamers to own a part of the game. He is quoted saying, 90% of people will not play games unless they will be properly valued for their time. In 5 years, you will actually value your time properly, and instead of being harvested for advertisements or being fleeced for dollars to buy stupid hammers you don't actually own, you will be playing some on-chain equivalent game that will be just as fun, but you will actually earn value and you will be the harvester. In my opinion, I'm sure gamers play games to unwind and have fun with their friends. And they're not really thinking like, oh, I'm playing this game and wasting my time. I wish companies would figure out a way so I wouldn't be wasting my time. We're playing games because they're actually fun, not to profit or justify not doing other things like mowing the lawn. And in addition, NFTs are only important in the context of the game. When the game dies or stops running, your NFT becomes useless. When you introduce free trade and the ability for people to profit, the game becomes less fun to play. Example is Diablo 3's auction house and how it failed. More people were trading than playing the game. Items there became highly inflated due to groups of people colluding to raise prices. Just like how NFT art is going right now. It attracted a whole network of people trying to profit. Blizzard introduced this because, well, they get a percentage of every sale. They did remove it, but Diablo 3 as a game died afterward. Now, obviously, not all games are alike. I'm sure certain games can make it work, but the basis is that companies are introducing NFTs to us like they're doing us a favor. But it's just for them to increase revenue on their balance sheet. I hope you guys got something out of this. I am going to make a video about the new play-to-earn games, like this League of Legends ripoff. I honestly think that this is worse than adding NFTs to current games, so put your alerts on for that. And thanks for watching.